PreProTex, Prehistoric and Protohistoric Textile and Dress Cultures in Southern Portugal, is a new research program being set up to promote the study of textile production and consumption between the Neolithic period and the Iron Age in this region, as well as new research on the social, political, and cultural role of clothing for local communities throughout this long time span. In the framework of Portuguese participation in the EuroWeb cost action, it became apparent that, while there is ample evidence relating to these topics in the Southern Portuguese archaeological record, a lack of investment on this research subject led to Portuguese scholarship lagging that of other areas of Europe and the Mediterranean. The PreProTex program arose from a need to tackle this situation by creating research capacity, setting the groundwork for a sustained research line, while also incorporating the Portuguese data in wider debates and narratives. Archaeological research on textiles and textile production in Portugal lacks the long and sustained trajectory which can be found in other countries, including to an extent neighboring Spain. While the topic had been broached in some older publications, the first specific discussions of textile crafts, namely through the studies of textile tool assemblages, only appeared well into the 2000s, and even then were for the most part circumscribed to prehistoric research. The topic of dress, on the other hand, was hardly ever put in focus, as the material related to it was mostly considered from a typological and seriation point of view, while the relationship to clothing, dressing styles, and fashion remained unanalyzed. In order to address these shortcomings, PreProTex aims to congregate a team of archaeologists and anthropologists to develop an interdisciplinary research program covering all the stages of the textile production chain, from fiber procurement, thread production, and fabric weaving to garment production, use, and discard. The goal is to integrate all possible sources to achieve a long-term diachronic view of the evolution of textile and dress cultures in southern Portugal. In order to achieve this goal, the research program is structured around 6 fundamental tasks. The first deals with the issue of fiber procurement and its potential economic and social impact in local societies. Given the scarcity of actual preserved textiles, which may give us indications of the patterns of use of different fibers, such as flax, hemp, and wool across time, the only available source to explore their exploitation and its potential economic impact are the fauna and flora assemblages found in archaeological sites, which will be analyzed from new perspectives and using new analytical methods such as zooms. The second task deals with the development of textile technologies by looking at the textile tools found in archaeological contexts. The typological, morphometric, and technological study of spindle whorls, part of the tools used for producing thread, and loom components afford critical insights into the type of setup used for textile production, the evolution of which offers valuable data for the study of processes of technological innovation and diffusion. Such insights will further be explored through PreProTex's third task, which aims to deploy new methods and new analytical techniques for the study of textile production. Chief among these new methods will be experimental archaeology, the use of which for the study of textile crafts has a long tradition in other areas of Europe, but not in the Iberian Peninsula. This experimental approach will be complemented by a comparative approach, taking in not just data from other regional areas, but also from contemporary traditional textile crafts. Another avenue to be explored deals with indirect sources which may complement the knowledge derived from textile tool studies, such as iconography. A fourth task will deal exclusively with the development of dress cultures, combining an exploration of different sources, chief among which the study of non-textile dress complements such as needles, pins, buttons, brooches, and belt buckles. An attempt will be made to go beyond the traditional typological study of this material and to move into a contextual interpretation which fosters a more in-depth understanding of their roles as part of dress styles and fashions. In order to achieve such an understanding, an experimental approach will also be deployed, attempting to recreate the garments and to explore the potential of use of different dress complements. The fifth task of this research program deals with the cartography and digitization of textile-related archaeological heritage. The goal here is to achieve a better understanding of the geographical patterns underlying different textile and dress traditions, but also to explore the ways in which textile activities were spatially organized. This will serve as the basis for discussions of the economic relations underlying production and of the ways in which said production was organized. Mapping and digitization of objects will also serve as a necessary basis for dissemination and outreach, creating an increased awareness of the significance of this research topic and of the lessons we may draw from the forms of resource exploitation and labor organization in the past. Finally, the PreProTex program also encompasses a sixth task, dealing with communication and the dissemination of results. We firmly believe that the data produced in the framework of the program must be swiftly put at the disposition of the research community and actively incorporated into wider debates and narratives taking place beyond the strict confines of textile archaeology and, of course, beyond Portuguese borders. But we also believe that this data must serve as the basis for creative forms of storytelling aimed at fostering public awareness of the potential of alternative modes of textile production and consumption, which are sustainable and socially responsible. The PreProTex program is only now taking its first steps, and it will be critically important to secure the necessary resources to fully implement the research tasks outlined above. These resources, however, are not just financial. These extend to the know-how and collaboration of experts from across Europe. We are therefore very much open to future collaborations and would like to hear from any researchers and innovators willing to collaborate on this exciting new venture. Thank you for your attention.